Good afternoon, Denise. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jeannie. Great to see you.
You too. And welcome to Tuesday's Coaching Corner with Eugenie and Awaken Your World Transformational Coaching. Today I have a friend of mine, Denise Morrison, with me. She's also a fellow coach, and she's also a good friend of mine. She's going to tell you a little bit about her backstory. She's going to tell you a little bit of the struggle she's had to overcome. She will have a tip for us more mature, seasoned women. And I can say that because she is in the 50 plus club now and rocking it. And she's going to take it from here. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, sheesh. Let me take us way back since I have 50 years of experience to talk about now. It's quite amazing what I've been through. But I'll just give you a little sample of what I'm doing now. And then you'll hear how I got to where I am. But I am a practicing physical therapist during the day. I work with pediatric population in the schools, which is still coaching and teaching and educating and entertaining. And I can live out my big kid every single day. And then at night, I coach women, clients that have similar backgrounds to myself, because I surely know how I can help them after all the things that I've been through and the obstacles I've overcome. I mean, now I can overcome them. Well, now I can look back and say, I can see why they were a blessing and what they were teaching me. You know, in the time, you're just like, no.
I know.
So,
but now you've overcome them and you're now thriving. So that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel better now in my 50th plus year than I did when I was a teenager and 20-year-old, because it's like the whole total package is all finally lined up. Mind, body, spirit, soul, everybody's together, and it feels way easier to be me every day than all those struggles before. So, but yeah, that's what I do. And I have a husband and a kid and some fur babies, and they might make some noise. So just know that they're probably concerned about their mommy up here. So yeah, let's see. What the big struggles that I now can look back on with gratitude were being raised in a dysfunctional family, just having a narcissistic parent. If anybody knows about anyone who has a narcissist in their life, I was always to blame. The rest of us were always to blame. And the other unfortunate piece of that is that this person used significant physical and emotional abuse to keep us where they wanted us to stay. And so from those situations, I learned a lot about being in fight or flight mode, always kind of being at the ready for an emergency, because I never knew where I would stand. And as coaches, we know my love, safety, and belonging was truly threatened on a daily basis. And so being that I couldn't escape that, and that was my home foundation, the way that I coped with that was bulimia. Yay. So instead of, in addition to being abused by that person, I began to learn how to abuse myself. And I thought I was actually helping myself by stuffing my emotions down with food, coping with those crappy feelings, those insecurities by eating brownie mix. That's my fun thing that I've posted and told my women, is that I have had so many brownies in my life to cope. That nice little kick to put me into that zombie land with sugar. So in that respect, as I began to eat more and more, I wasn't comfortable with the purging aspect of making myself sick. So I over-exercised.
Right.
And using exercise to the excess, 2 to 3 hours a day, what a cycle I put myself in. I mean, and I became so good at it so quick to feel hurt, feel sad, feel alone, feel abused, eat, feel sick, go exercise it off. And it went on and on and on for a long time. I mean, we're talking, into my 30s, I was doing that. And of course I didn't realize it. I just had to keep functioning and do my day. So, but I became really good at it, and so good at it that I got so skinny. And everybody who understands nutrition, I did not have fat in my diet, because back then fat was the bad thing. So I was in
Yes.
that, I was part of the low fat craze where I ate all those things. I lived on pasta, I lived on bread and rice. And little did I realize what was happening is I was affecting my hormones in a big way, affecting my hair, my skin, my digestive system, and I really set myself up for a big mess. And then, so finally, I guess we could say this one hurdle finally jumped. I finally jumped over this one hurdle when I started getting really kooky. So my boyfriend at the time was like, "Your moods are funny. You're not thinking clearly." And I went to a nutritionist, and she's like, "What are you eating?" And I told her, and I told her what was going on in my life, and she's like, "You are depriving yourself of so many nutrients. And what are you doing to yourself, and why?" And when she told me I could eat fat, it was like the greatest gift on the planet. I was like, "Yay, fats." But I mean, here we are, the good fats, that's a whole nother video series. But I started incorporating more of that. But however, it was too late kind of on my body, because the next hurdle that I jumped into with my then boyfriend, who then became my husband, we moved to Australia, and I went through additional issues over there because I was continuing this. I didn't realize that those bag of tricks that I was using with bulimia, I kind of worked through them a little bit, but when I went over there, I was doing it again. I was abusing myself more with other forms of harsh treatment, which I won't say on video. um, but I met a naturopath there, and she was like, "Okay, let's get down to business." And she really did a full assessment, mind and body and spirit. And she was like, "You are beating yourself up, like in your mind with your self-talk. Um, Everything that you're thinking, you are really harsh on yourself." And I was like, "Really? What do you mean?" And so, being that I was raised with such an abusive person, that language in my head, those thoughts were just part and parcel of who I was. And I just thought that was the channel I always switched to. That's where I was meant to be. So when this naturopath, who I didn't realize her other skills, the naturopath actually figured out that I had hypothyroidism. And
Wow.
I was like, I mean, she did all the tests. It was fantastic. She assessed me so completely. And she's like, "Okay, you have hypothyroidism. That makes a lot of sense what you're going through. Let me," she gave me some of those fancy supplements that she did. And she also said to me, she said, "You need NLP." And I was like, "NLP?" And she said, "It's neuro linguistic programming." And I was like, what is that?" So, long story, I went and I found a group of people that were teaching NLP in Australia, and it blew my mind. And it was like it was meant for me to hear at that time, because I learned that all my self-talk, all the beliefs that I had about myself, and everything that I was carrying from childhood was just playing out all day, every day, in all aspects of my life. And it just, I know, it just opened up my mind. And I found a coach that helped me through this. They taught me everything. I went through the trainings, and I became an NLP Master Practitioner. I learned hypnosis. We had the whole gamut. And it was like so eye-opening that I was 33 years old, and I realized for the first time that I had a choice. I was able to make a choice. Like no one told me what to do anymore. Like that power of knowing that I could create my thoughts, my days, my goals, and it was all on me. It freaked me out, but it blew me away too.
You can
So,
make your own decisions.
like, bam. I mean, but that's the thing. For 33 years, I carried that old set of habits and beliefs about myself. I mean, wow. That's all. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. Like, my face is going to light up, my whole body's going to sweat just saying, like, it was like I was reborn at 33.
Well, you
So
were.
I know, it was really
You
exciting.
were.
And this beautiful, well, actually, it was a bunch of beautiful women coaches that I had at the time, giving me that love and the support that I kind of did not get growing up. Like I didn't have that because it was fight or flight. There was no love, safety, belonging. Anyway, so these women helped me to realize that I could do this. And then I thought everything was cool and hunky dory. Okay. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake now. I can skate through life and get anything I want. No. Then I realized that my hormonal issues made it difficult for me to have children. And so I was already then married to then boyfriend moved. So we were having issues with that and so on and so forth. But speed forward ahead, in the short term, it was a fluke. I wound up getting pregnant with my guy who is now 19. But then I don't know how it was a blip. It was a miracle by all aspects. My body went into haywire. I had like postpartum depression. The hypothyroidism really kicked in to like 100%. And it was the worst thing. And I spent 2 more years just like diving into this depression, this anxiety. I didn't know how to raise my child. It was terrible. It was awful. So once I woke up out of that, I found that naturopath again, and she kind of pulled me up and out of that mess. And she's like, okay, how can I help you now as a mother? And, how can we work with your husband? So basically it was like, became a team approach. We were all finally speaking the same language, and got myself on a regular, calmer routine of fitness, healthy eating. It's like I had to put myself back together after I had him. And it took me about 3 years to put my whole body back.
Wow.
Insane.
Wow.
So then like I could go on and on, but I'll make this a little bit shorter. We realized that we did not want to stay in Australia forever. I wanted to come back to the US and be closer to my family because my dear mom was suffering with Parkinson's. So we came back to the States. And then there was yet another hurdle to go through. And through it all, I regained so much of my power, my intuition, my courage and my confidence that I was able to then stand up for my mom, who was also a victim of the same kind of abuse. And I was able to speak on her behalf, get her the right medical care, get her into the best scenario, possibly with the help of my siblings. So it just seems, now that I'm saying all this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Let me have a drink.
That's right. And breathe. Breathe.
I know, it just was like, I mean, as you can tell, it was so overwhelming just to recount that. And yes, there were times where I did take a break. Trust me, like, in between times we would go on vacation and.
But there's one thing I wanted to point out though, when you were talking about bulimia, people don't realize that it's not just about binging and purging through making yourself throw up. It can be exercise, it can be colonics, it can be all different kinds. And I'm glad you brought that up because it really is an important distinction people don't realize.
Yeah.
And also the fact that after you were pregnant, it became a family system. The family system had to work through it because it is a family system issue. So I'm going to stop there. I worked with anorexic and bulimic patients in Arizona.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm thankful that you brought that up because people don't realize that intense over-exercising can be a form of purging.
I mean, I tried, I just couldn't do it. And I just thought, what's the next best thing? And I loved exercising, and I thought, what's another hour on the treadmill? What's another hour? Like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad I did it that way, but unfortunately being a physical therapist, like I loved working out. I loved like seeing what my body could do. I love being in the gym. I found friendship in the gym, and I found that love, safety, and belonging in the gym. So,
right.
But yeah, I forgot that you had mentioned that to me ages ago, but what a coincidence that we're bringing that up.
But I'm just glad you brought that up and stated that because people really don't realize it.
And you don't, I wish, I wish me now could go back to me when I was 10 and say, I love you so much. I want to hold you and cuddle you and give you all that you need, because you can find other ways to get love and safety and belonging, and eat well and eat moderately and exercise moderately. And there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to put yourself down or destroy your body. And I mean, I was basically erasing my feminine side, my womanliness.
Right.
I wanted to like erase that whole bit, because that's the part that I was being abused for, that side of me, being a woman. And yeah.
But the other part of the 10-year-old, you have gone back to rescue her. And she is now safe. And that's part of why you're a whole person again. And you found your power, and you found your voice, and you found your passion, because you have made her feel safe and loved and that she belongs.
Oh yeah.
So you've done that.
Oh yeah. And I let her out.
Yeah.
I let her out in my jokes. My
Hey.
silliness. I can do it all now. My Gemini likes to have a little fun.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, no, it's just like when I look back, I'm like, every either hurdle that came from the outside, I took it in, and now I know I don't have to take it in and do anything to harm myself. I could stay whole and peaceful and honor me and honor my boundaries and my voice and
Yes.
who I am, and say, you know what? I see you coming, obstacle. let's work with this, or let me grab my lady tribe and work with this so that I can find a way around it, through it, over it, and it doesn't knock me out for long. I
Good.
come back to center quicker and breathe, of course.
Yeah, breathe. And sometimes you have to use that Jersey hose sometimes too.
I do. But I do. Thank you, Jeannie, for, how many years ago though?
Lord, I don't know. I
know. But it was through your coaching with me that I established the habit of having a meditation practice every day, and a journaling practice with that. So now every day at a certain time, I stop, I meditate, I welcome the spirit in, I write about it, and I do it faithfully, because like I need that for wholeness and completeness. And then I can go out and like spread my joy and my fun everywhere and my skills. So, yeah, I'll stop there, because there's always some obstacle coming in my path, but I definitely have
That's
more.
life.
Yeah.
Life has obstacles, and it's just how you respond to them and what meaning and decision you're going to make about them.
Oh, I love that you said that, because it's amazing how much trouble I got myself into by making meaning out of things that didn't need to have meaning or judgment.
Yeah.
Free us from that and just go on.
Yeah. Just breathe and go on.
Well, it's easier said than done, but once you've had wonderful coaching and support, and you create a new habit, which that's like my jam now, is helping women create new habits so that they can figure out what's been blocking them, what stories have blocked them, what sabotaging behaviors have blocked them, so that they can find their power, their voice, their self-love and intuition, because it's in there, and some reason or another it was clouded over or shut down, or and a lot of the women that I've been working with have had similar backgrounds of either using some sort of food or self-abusive behavior to cope with themselves. And now I can like say, hey, there's another way out. There's another option. So
there's another way.
It's so fun.
And you can be that flashlight.
Oh my gosh, that's really creepy that you said that. My coach said that to me today. She's like, you be the flashlight. You go out and do that. That's crazy.
Neat. What would be one of your takeaways for women?
There's help. There is help out there for you in your scenario. There is someone that's been there and been through it. And do not suffer. Do not think you're alone. And do not beat yourself up. Like, know that things could have just been off kilter for some reason or another, but you are in there. And once we help you tap into who you really are and what you want and valuing yourself, there's so much you can do. I mean, I have a million takeaways. Oh my gosh. I mean, seriously, so many people that I work with, like it starts to ripple over. Like, how we like to say, how you do one thing is how you do all
Do
things.
everything.
It just ripples over into the rest of their lives, and like their career changes, their relationship changes, their financial situation changes, their appearance, their health. I mean, so if I help my women like get that little piece that might not be, lined up, we'll just be like, it's okay. We'll get it out. We'll fix it. So,
And it'll come back in.
yeah. Or, like,
or you may just change that circuit.
oh, totally. Oh, that's my favorite thing is back to the NLP. I mean, it sounds neuro-linguistic programming sounds like a computer program, but in essence, a lot of us have been programmed to believe certain things about ourselves that are not true or that are harmful. And through these techniques, you can reprogram yourself. You can go forward into your future with a totally different mindset, totally different habits. And you could be different without having to think about being different.
That's right. It's just there.
You're just different. I mean,
that's
like,
right.
People ask me things from like 20, 30 years ago. I'm like, who's that? Was that me? No, that wasn't me.
Couldn't be. No, couldn't be.
So, yeah, I don't know. What do you have any other questions for me in regards?
Well, I want people to know how to contact you and to get a hold of you. Because there are so many different coaches and we do so many different things. And, this person might not be the right fit, but you might be the right fit. Yeah. And you might be right exactly what they need. And I want them to know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, well, I am on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, no Twitter, not yet. But my full name is Denise Lynn Morrison, and you can find me on Facebook. I won't bite you. I'll become your friend, especially if you send me a little message. You send me a message that says, I saw you on that video and you were working with Eugenie. But I also have a website that you can share for them, DeniseLynnMorrison.com. I made it very simple.
Is it lowercase, uppercase?
It's all lowercase. One big pushed up, one whole complete Denise Lynn Morrison now.
Okay. .com. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Hey, we do have a lot of fun, don't we?
Well, always. I can make almost anything fun. Even the worst situations I've been in, I can make them fun.
See?
Yeah.
What a great.
You wouldn't want to cycle riders after you. You can make it fun. You could ask my friend Kim that one. Yeah, it was. We always giggle at the worst times. So.
Well, I do that too, and sometimes people are like, "You're odd," but I mean, if I'm not releasing that stress and that tension somehow, I mean, I'd rather giggle and laugh than cry and scream and yell.
So. Or scream and yell. That's right. So we just giggled, and that's what we did.
Giggling.
And it all turned out okay.
Yeah, I don't hurt anybody.
No. But I thank you for being with me today and for sharing and for showing that one distinction that was real important, and also just sharing your story. And I want people to see that you've not only survived all this, but you're thriving and you're moving forward, and you found your passion and your purpose, and you have a husband who is very, very nice. He's quirky now. He's quirky, but he's very nice. And Ian, your son, he's big now.
Yeah.
And but he just graduated from high school, right?
Yeah, now he's a freshman in college.
Yeah. So you have you put your pieces together and you're on this journey, and there'll be lots of more pieces and parts to come. And I'm excited to see how they come together.
It is fun. I wake up excited. Like I wake up almost like every day is Christmas Day. Like, ooh, what am I gonna create today? Who's gonna come into my life today?
And why can't it be Christmas Day every day?
I know.
You know, it can be.
Well, as long as I don't have to cook the big meal every day.
Oh, no, no, no. Cindy and I are meeting in Columbia because she lives in Forest City.
Okay.
And I live down here in Manning. And there was about 3 hours difference. So we're going to meet up in Columbia.
There you go.
And I hate that they're open for Christmas, but I'm thankful that they are so that we can have a Christmas dinner together.
There you go. Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Take a break.
And breathe.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs, Just Breathe.
Just breathe. Oh, goodness. Well, I've enjoyed seeing and talking with you today because we have not talked for a while, and we're going to have to start talking at least once a month.
Oh, I know. It's fun. It feels good.
I just told Cheryl that today. We need to talk at least once a month. Just
Oh, we can have a little mastermind or something, a little
oh, why not?
get together because I mean, I do that with my other gals. We meet on Zoom, so we can meet on Zoom and throw some things around.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's fun.
Especially laughs.
Yeah, definitely. She's my hookup for CBD. You know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Oh, yeah. She has those CBD capsules. She sends them to us.
Ah, well, I haven't quite gotten the courage using the CBD because I'm afraid they'll do a drug test on me at work and
Oh, you
I'll
know.
be in trouble.
No, they're nothing. Like, are we not recording? Are you?
I'll stop recording. Everybody have a great day. This is Tuesday's Coaching Corner with Eugenie and Awaken Your Roar Transformational Coaching. And I've got some other things to discuss. So y'all have a blessed and beautiful day and Merry Christmas. An extraordinary new year.